if your feet burn at night, if your toes feel numb when you wake up, or if you've ever looked down and felt like your feet just don't fully belong to you anymore. This video is going to change how you think about what's happening, because here's what most people never hear. Neuropathy after 60 doesn't usually arrive all at once. It creeps in quietly. A little tingling here, some numbness there, and by the time the burning becomes constant, the nerves have already been struggling for years. But here's the part that should make you angry. If you've dealt with neuropathy for any length of time, you've probably heard the same thing over and over. Walk more, stretch harder, push through it. But for damaged, irritated nerves, that advice doesn't just fail. It can actively make things worse. And most people follow it for years while their symptoms quietly get worse. That ends today. Surgeons and rehabilitation specialists don't rely on random movement. They use very specific activation patterns designed to restore blood flow, reawaken nerve signaling, and reduce irritation without overloading fragile tissue. And those movements are not what you've been told to do. Today, I'm breaking down 5 of those targeted movements, ranked from helpful to most powerful. And the final one is so practical, so functional, that most people do it every single day, completely wrong, without realizing it's one of the most powerful tools they have for protecting their nerves. Before we begin, let me ask you one quick question. Do you currently experience numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet or hands? And were you ever told that nerve damage can't be reversed? Write your answer in the comments because we read every single one. Now let's start with the first movement because this is the one most people skip. Number 5, toe yoga. This looks almost too simple to take seriously. And that's exactly why most people never do it. Toe yoga is not about flexibility. It's about reactivating a communication system that quietly shuts down when neuropathy begins. Here's what's happening inside your foot. Your toes are controlled by a dense network of small motor nerves and intrinsic muscles, tiny muscles that most people haven't intentionally activated in years. When circulation slows and nerve signals weaken, these muscles begin to disengage. They go quiet, and when they go quiet, 2 things happen. First, the sensory feedback your brain receives from your feet becomes less accurate. Second, the small pumping action these muscles create, which helps move blood through the most distant nerve tissue in your body, slows down dramatically. That combination is exactly what deepens the numbness and burning you feel. The nerves at the tips of your toes are the farthest from your heart. They are always the first to suffer when circulation declines, and they are always the last to recover when nothing is done to help them. Toe yoga directly targets this. By isolating and controlling individual toe movements, you are rebuilding the neural circuit between your brain and the nerve endings in your feet. Research indexed through the National Institutes of Health confirms that targeted intrinsic foot muscle activation improves both motor nerve response and sensory feedback in adults with peripheral neuropathy. So now that you understand what's happening, here's what to do. Sit upright in a chair with both feet flat on the floor, barefoot if possible. Begin by lifting only your big toe while keeping your 4 smaller toes pressed down. Hold for 3 seconds. Then reverse it. Press the big toe down and lift the 4 smaller toes. Hold for 3 seconds. That is 1 repetition. The movement should be slow and deliberate. Most people find this surprisingly difficult at first, which is actually a good sign. It means the neural connection is weak, and that this exercise is working exactly where it needs to. Aim for 10 repetitions per foot, once or twice daily. You may feel mild tingling or warmth in the toes during or after the movement. That is increased nerve activation and improved circulation reaching tissue that has been underserved for a long time. Toe yoga sets the foundation, but getting blood into the foot is only the beginning. What comes next takes that circulation 1 step deeper. Number 4, towel scrunches. If toe yoga reawakens the nerve circuit, towel scrunches give it something to work against. And that resistance makes all the difference. When peripheral neuropathy develops, the small intrinsic muscles of the foot, the ones that support the arch, stabilize the toes, and help push blood through capillaries, begin to weaken from disuse. This isn't a choice. It's a mechanical consequence of reduced nerve signaling. When nerves stop communicating clearly, muscles stop contracting fully. When muscles stop contracting, circulation in the foot drops further. It becomes a slow, self-reinforcing cycle. Each week it goes unaddressed. The cycle tightens. Towel scrunches interrupt that cycle directly. By placing a small towel flat on the floor and using your toes to scrunch it towards you, you are loading those intrinsic foot muscles through a full contraction. That contraction compresses the tiny blood vessels in the sole of the foot, creating what physiologists describe as a milking effect. Stagnant blood is pushed out. And fresh, oxygenated blood is drawn in, directly to the nerve tissue that needs it most. The Mayo Clinic and rehabilitation programs cited through the National Institutes of Health both include foot muscle strengthening as a core strategy for managing neuropathic symptoms, specifically because improved muscle function helps restore local circulation to damaged nerve tissue. The good news is, correcting this is simple. Place a small hand towel or dish towel flat on a hard floor. Sit upright in a chair. Place one bare foot on the towel. Now use your toes to scrunch and pull the towel toward you. Grip and release. Grip and release. Continue for 30 to 45 seconds, then switch feet. The motion should feel like you are trying to pick the towel up with just your toes. Keep your heel on the ground. Breathe steadily. If you feel cramping in the arch, pause briefly and then continue. That cramping means the right muscles are engaging. Muscles that likely haven't worked like this in years. Perform 2 to 3 sets per foot daily. Towel scrunches are effective alone, but their real value is what they prepare your foot for. The weight-bearing and balance work that follows. Number 3, wall ankle dorsiflexion. This is the exercise most people do wrong without knowing it. And when it's done correctly, it changes how your entire lower leg circulates blood to your nerves. Here's something most people are never told. The ankle is not just a joint, it is a circulation gateway. Every major blood vessel supplying your foot passes through this narrow junction. And after 60, that gateway quietly stiffens. The calf muscles shorten from prolonged sitting. The Achilles tendon loses elasticity. And when ankle mobility declines, 2 problems emerge at the same time. First, the calf muscle pump, the mechanism your legs use to push blood back up toward the heart, becomes less effective. Blood pools in the lower leg. Pressure builds. Nerves receive less oxygen. Symptoms worsen. Second, restricted ankle movement changes your entire walking pattern. Your body compensates without you realizing it. Your gait shifts, and that subtle shift places constant mechanical pressure on the very nerve pathways running through your lower leg and into your foot. Every single step, all day long. This is where you actively reverse the problem. Stand facing a wall with both hands lightly resting on it for support. Place one foot about 12 inches behind the other. Keep the back heel flat on the floor. Now slowly bend your front knee toward the wall, letting your ankle stretch deeply. You should feel a firm stretch through your calf and lower leg. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Breathe steadily. Then switch sides. What makes this different from a standard calf stretch is the wall contact and the controlled positioning. You are not lunging. You are not bouncing. You are loading the tissue at the precise angle that restores dorsiflexion range while allowing the calf to release gradually and fully. Harvard Health publications highlight that regular ankle flexibility work improves lower limb vascular efficiency and reduces the mechanical tension that directly aggravates peripheral nerve tissue in older adults. 2 to 3 repetitions per side, once daily. Over time, improved ankle mobility means a stronger calf pump, better walking mechanics, and meaningfully less nerve compression from below. Now we move into the top 2, and this is where the approach shifts from circulation and flexibility into something far more targeted, something most people have never been told exists. Number 2, seated nerve glide. This is the one most people have never heard of, and yet in rehabilitation settings, it is often the very first technique introduced when nerve irritation is involved. Here is something most people never understand about neuropathy. It is not only a blood flow problem. Your nerves are physical structures designed to glide, to slide smoothly through surrounding tissue every time you move. When that glide becomes restricted, the nerve tugs, catches, and gets compressed in small increments throughout the day. And those small compressions translate directly into the burning, shooting pain and numbness you feel in your feet. Here is the part most people find genuinely surprising. The sciatic nerve runs from your lower back all the way into your foot. You may feel no back pain whatsoever. The only sign may be the tingling and burning in your feet. But the nerve has been losing its ability to move freely for years, and most people never find out until the symptoms become impossible to ignore. A nerve glide restores that motion. This is not a stretch. Stretching lengthens muscle. a nerve glide mobilizes the nerve itself, gently and rhythmically, without pulling on it aggressively. We're not forcing anything here, just guiding the system back to how it was designed to move. This movement may feel unfamiliar at first. That is completely normal. The coordination between the leg and head takes a few repetitions to click. Don't rush it. Sit upright in a sturdy chair, both feet flat on the floor. Extend one leg forward, straightening the knee gently. As you straighten the leg, pull your toes upward toward your shin and lift your head to look slightly upward. Then reverse. Lower the foot, relax the toes, and let your chin drop slightly toward your chest. When the leg extends, the head lifts. When the leg lowers, the head drops. That coordination is everything. It creates a sliding motion along the entire nerve pathway rather than a sustained pull on any single point. 10 slow repetitions on one side, then switch. Mild tension is acceptable. Sharp pain is not. After 2 to 3 weeks of consistent gliding, most people notice the burning and tingling begins to decrease between flare-ups. The nerve is simply moving better than it was. But nerve mobility alone is not enough. The number one exercise takes everything you have built and puts it to functional use. Number 1. Sit to stand from a chair. This is the movement rehabilitation specialists point to when they talk about protecting independence after 60. And once you understand why, you will never sit down or stand up the same way again. Every time you rise from a chair, your nervous system performs one of the most demanding coordination tasks of your entire day. Sensory signals from your feet, pressure shifts through your ankles, force absorption through your legs. All of it synchronized in under 2 seconds. When peripheral nerves are damaged, that coordination breaks down. Signals arrive late. Balance becomes uncertain. And gradually, people start moving less to protect themselves from a fall they feel coming but can't explain. That is the trap. Less movement means less circulation. Less circulation means faster deterioration. The very act of protecting yourself is accelerating the damage. Sit to stand breaks that trap. Done correctly and consistently, it restores the neuromuscular communication that neuropathy quietly dismantles, in the exact movement that determines whether you stay independent or don't. Here's the safest way to do it. Sit toward the front edge of a sturdy chair, feet flat and hip-width apart. Hands on your thighs or crossed over your chest. Do not push up with your arms. Lean slightly forward from your hips and rise to standing slowly and with full control. Pause at the top for 2 full seconds. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Then lower yourself back down just as slowly. Do not drop into the chair. Control the descent completely. That slow lowering phase is where the most critical work happens. It forces nerves and muscles to communicate under load, exactly the demand that drives real improvement over time. Start with 5 repetitions. Rest. Build toward 2 to 3 sets daily. Toe yoga reactivates the nerve circuit. Towel scrunches restore circulation to the foot. Wall ankle dorsiflexion reopens the circulation gateway. The nerve glide restores the pathway's ability to move freely. And sit to stand puts all of it to use, under real load in real life. That is why it is number 1. 5 exercises, no equipment, no gym, less than 15 minutes a day at home. Now I want to hear from you. Have you been told there's nothing more you can do? Or are you just starting to notice symptoms and already worried about where this goes? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every single one. If this video gave you an explanation you hadn't heard before, subscribe. We release evidence-based senior health content every week. And don't skip the next video on your screen. It reveals one simple wall-based movement specialists now say works better than walking for rebuilding leg strength and nerve stability after 60. Watch that next.